So we are going to start in our seat. So on the edge of your seat, feet are grounded on the floor. Let me make sure you can see me a little bit better. Okay. All right, so just feet on the ground. You can have the feet a little bit apart. Go ahead and spread your toes and just rock a little side to side on your seat, and just feel as you rock, you feel the weight shift. So I shift to one hip and then the other. And then go ahead and close your eyes and continue to just let your weight spill to one side and then the other. And this could be a small motion. It could be kind of a bigger motion. It might feel big when we start to close our eyes. And just shifting a little bit of your weight from one hip to the other and experiencing that weight shift. And then where is center? So then come to the middle. Where's both sits bones on the ground, seat, kind of your seat and pelvis are heavy. And then just keeping the eyes closed, kind of drop into your body. And so noticing sounds in the room, noticing temperature, noticing if there's parts of your body that are warm and parts of the body that are cool. So maybe your hands are cooler than your arms. Just notice temperature difference in your body. And then just take an overall kind of assessment of your body in this moment. Are there any areas that are feeling a little tighter today? Are there also areas that feel easy and good? And then also notice any overall mood. And then let's bring both hands to the low belly. And we're going to start with a little bit of breath work. And so when you breathe in, you're going to intentionally bring breath down into the belly. And we want to bring that inhale into the belly so that the belly expands like a balloon. So you're inhaling and you're filling up the lower belly. It's going to go forward, out to the sides, and even back. And then you're going to do an open mouth exhale. So you open your mouth and you're going to actively exhale. And the belly is going to draw back towards your spine as you exaggerate that exhale. And then we'll do that a couple more times. So you're going to inhale, fill up the belly like a balloon, pulling air in, open mouth exhale, belly draws back, 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 back. Exhaling the whole time. 2 more times, inhale. How much inhale, how much breath could I bring in my body? Exhale. Is there more to exhale out? 1 more time. Inhale, fill up, bring in breath. Make that breath big. Open the mouth and make that exhale long. Exhale, exhale, keep exhaling. And then just relax. Let the breath come back to kind of a normal pace. You can open your eyes. Let's take our hands and start to give our jaw a little massage. So I'm just going to take my hands onto where the jaw and the cheekbone meet, and this is this TMJ joint area. And I'm going to just start to massage this area. And you can press in any amount that feels good. We're going to take this massage down to the chin and back up. So we're just massaging the jaw, and specifically around this TMJ joint area. Okay, a couple times massaging up and down the jaw. We call this skin stem. We're waking up our body through touch, skin stem. And then you're going to take your hands on the forehead, and we're going to go up and down on the forehead here. So I'm just rubbing up and down on my forehead, getting the awareness on my forehead. And then we're going to go to the sides of temples. So up and down on the temples. Side to side, up and down. You get to experiment. And then go under the eyes. I'm going to circle fingertips under my eyes. Little circles. And now you're going to close your eyes. And you're going to give yourself a little eye massage. So my fingertips are just on top of my eyes. And I'm just giving little circles here on top of my eyes. And I'm pressing in about dime-sized pressure. Okay. Great. And then we're going to go to the skull. Now I'm going to go in like my fingers were combs, and I'm going to kind of I'm going to comb into my skull. I'm going to kind of press into like you're getting getting your hair washed. And you're gonna go all the way around. Let's go from the front to the back, from the side and up, and from the back up. Really get in there. It feels so nice to get that skull, a little bit of massage. One more from front to up, side to up, and then back to up. And then let's stay a little more time on this back of our neck. And I want you to just slide the hands up the back of the neck. So one after the other. We're just sliding up the back of the neck. Giving a little bit of length through the neck. And then find that place where there's these two bony landmarks back, right where the neck and the skull meet. And you can just take your hands kind of like mittens, and we're just going to massage that area. This can be a really tight area where the spine comes into the head. And so we're just going to take a little time doing some circular motions on this bone. It's called the occiput here. Yep, and circle the other way. Awesome. Good, and then just one more thing for our face right now. We're going to pull down on the ears. So pull down, give a little wiggle. Kind of start to wake up our inner ears, our vestibular system. And then you're going to pull out on the ears, give a little wiggle. And then you're going to pull up on the ears, give a little wiggle. Great, and then just shake your hands. Shake the elbows. Shake the shoulders. Shake down towards the floor. Forward towards me. And out to the sides. Down to the floor, forward towards me, out to the sides. Nice, one more time, down to the floor, get it out, forward towards me, any tension, out to the sides. Great, and then just relax the arms, let them fall by your sides. Nice, easy shoulder slides. We're just gonna slide both shoulders all the way up to the ears. We'll notice one goes up more higher than the other, that's okay. That's your inhale. On the exhale, we're going to allow the shoulders to just drop. And they just drop. Inhale, slides up. Exhale. Let it go. Inhale up. There's this holding like you're being suspended up in space, and then you're dropped. Yeah. Inhale up. It's hard to let them drop. Exhale, let it go. There we go. And a couple more times. Up. You're going to feel some warmth in those shoulders, right? And then drop. One more. Up. And then drop. Good. Now my shoulder blades, these are the shoulder blades in the back, your scapula, are going to hug into the back, which is going to spread open my chest. So I'm squeezing my shoulder blades into my spine, which opens my chest. And then I just relax. So squeeze shoulder blades into your back. And then let it go. Finding that mid-back, find those muscles of the mid-back, feel how it opens the chest even just a little bit, and then release. Good, find your scapula sliding in, they retract. It's called retraction, where the scapula draw into the spine. And then let it go. One more time, let's draw the scapula in. We'll just hold. So we're gonna see if we can fire up our backs a little bit, drawing the scapula into the spine. Let the head be easy. Can I just make my neck feel easy? Maybe I do a little head nod. No. Yep. And then let that go. Okay, so we're gonna go to the head. I'm gonna go sideways for this first one. We're gonna do like what's called like a turtle neck or chicken neck. So I'm gonna keep my body still. I'm gonna take my face in a couple images here. So I like to think of a turtle, but you could also think that you're at a little shelf. There's like some shelves, and there's a shelf right underneath your chin, and you want to see what's on the other side of the shelf. So we'll start with that image. So I'm going to slide my chin forward, because I want to look what's on the other side of that shelf. And then I decide I don't really like what I see, so I'm going to slide my head back. And when I slide back, the important part here is I do a little chin tuck, and we're going to open up the back of our neck. Okay, so we slide forward with the face, slide along that shelf. And then we're going to slide back, and there's a little chin tuck. And I want to see. So slide forward. Yeah, just with your head, and then slide back. So let's put our hands on our chests for a moment. So sometimes it's easy to take our whole body. We're going to see if we can just move our head. So slide just the head forward. Yes, we got it. And then slide just the head, slides back. That was not what I wanted to see. We slide forward over that shelf, peek over, and then we slide back and chin tucks a little bit. Yeah, beautiful. Just the head. Slide your head. Even if it's small, can I move my head? And then can I move my head back? We're going to keep our heads here. So our heads are slightly retracted back, chins tucked. Can I pour water out my left ear? Bring it back to center. Can I pour water out my right ear? One side might be tighter. That's tighter for me. Come back up to center. Retract the head. Can I pour water out the left? Yeah, head tilting is a really hard skill actually, and come back to center. So this is really important to work on. Go head and then head tilt the other way. Yes, and back to center. Rest, hands can come down. Let's do a rotation. So I'm gonna turn, I'm gonna look over that left shoulder, what's back there, and then I come back to center. Someone just called your name. They said, hey, Judy, and you look over the right shoulder, and you come back to center. And turn over the left. Yes, you called me. And come back. Turn over the right. What? And back. Come center. One more head movement. We're going to look up. We're going to see there's some birds up there. We're going to look up. See the birds? And then we're going to look down. See the ground. Look up. See the clouds. See your ceiling, really. And then look down. See your rug or your feet or your legs. Look, so we're using our eyes to look up. The eyes see the ceiling. It's interesting, I didn't notice that dust up there. And then we look down, we see the rug, we see our feet. One more time, we look up, see the ceiling or the light. We look down, see the floor. Great, and then back to center. So we've been working on eye movements in this class as well. So our eyes really guide how the body moves. And so we've been working on some big eye circles. So we're gonna continue with those, especially since we have a few new people. So with the eye circles, you can do your thumb or you can use a pen or a pencil. And really the key components here to the eye circle, we're stretching, we have muscles in our eyes. And so just like any other muscle in the body, we wanna make sure our eyes are being used and being stretched, okay, in their full capacity. So we're gonna do a circle. And the key point is to keep the head still. The body's gonna wanna go because that's what our body does when our eyes move. But we're gonna try hard not to move the head. We're just gonna move our eyes. So let's start with going to the right. We're gonna think of a big circle like a hula hoop around your head. So take either your thumb is fine, or a pen or a pencil, okay? Take it in front of the nose. Body stays still. We're gonna keep our eyes on our target. So your eyes stay on your thumb or your pen, and you're gonna follow that pen or thumb up. We're gonna go around to the right, keep your eyes on your target. We're gonna come down that right side, come to center, pause here down in the middle. You're gonna change hands or thumbs, and then you're gonna go up this other side. We're gonna come up, eyes stay on your target, come all the way back to center. And change hands again. We're gonna do one more this direction. Breathing, inhale, exhale. When you come to center, you change hands. Inhaling and exhaling. We'll meet back at the top and then we'll rest. Woo, you may have noticed there's areas that are harder to look towards or a little bit of a stretch, right? Do we feel some of that? And so some of those areas you can go back to later and kind of work them out if they felt sticky, okay? So let's go the other way. So we have another direction. We're gonna go towards our left. So bring your target in front of you. Tall, easy spines, make sure to breathe. Let's go up first. Follow the pen up or thumb. Come around and down that left side of the circle. Coming all the way to center. You'll switch hands there. You'll come up. Woo! Try not to move your head with you. All the way back to center and change hands. Follow with your eyes, make sure you're breathing. Breathing, breathing, breathing the whole time. Up that other side. Woo! And then back to center and rest. Good work. Let's do a little eye reset in case our eyes got super tired doing that. We're gonna try to blink our eyes about 20 times, like our eyes were butterfly wings. So let's go. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Big eyes. Open the eyes big. Lift your foreheads. Big eyes. And then just relax. All right. Good work. Let's go to standing. So we have our chairs, so we can use them if we need them. It could just be right there for now. Just slightly adjust my camera. Okay. So just have the chair nearby in case you need it for some balancing. And bring your feet so they're under your hips and the toes are facing forward. We're going to do a little bit of opening for our feet, okay? So we're going to start with that right foot. Just step your right foot forward in front of you. Yep, body is long, pelvis is forward. Feel as if you could just lengthen up through the crown of the head or top of the ears upwards, okay? And all I'm going to do is my foot. I'm going to roll my foot open so that I get a little stretch, possibly on the outside of my ankle. And then I'm just going to bring it back to neutral. These are called ankle tilts. So I'm going to roll my foot open. We have joints in our feet that get jammed, and that affects how we move and how our hamstrings actually work. So open, that's the back of the legs, and then bring them back. We're going to roll. Think of rolling your big toe on top of your pinky toe. The foot opens out, and then it just comes back to neutral. Good. Last one like this. Open that foot open, and then come back. Now we're going to change the position of our leg. We're going to turn the leg in. And what happens when we do that is oftentimes the whole pelvis moves. I'm going to keep my pelvis facing forward as I turn my leg in. And same here. I'm going to roll my ankle open. And I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to roll the ankle open. You might feel a little more of a stretch here. It's possible. And then I bring it back to neutral. I roll the ankle open. I bring it back to neutral. Last time, I roll the ankle open. And I bring it back to neutral and then come back to center. Stand on both feet. And take the other leg forward. Let's take the other foot forward, just parallel. It's not super far. I'm just stepping in front of me slightly. I'm going to roll my foot open. My pelvis stays facing center. And then I come back. So you can think of stacking big toe on top of pinky toe and then come back to neutral. Beautiful. In this side, you may just feel movement, right? Try to get your mind way down there in the foot. Open and then back. Last time, stack big toe on top of pinky toe. And then back, and then let's turn that leg, your thigh bone, inward. Not the pelvis, just my thigh bone. And I'm going to see if I can do that ankle tilt here. So I'm going to roll my ankle open, and then I come back. And I roll it open, and back, and we roll open, and back. One more time. Roll that ankle open, and back, and then come back to center. And now we're going to try a little walking with an ankle tilt. So I'm going to step forward with my right foot. I roll the foot open. I bring it back to center. I step forward with my other foot, roll it open, come back. And you're going to walk around your room, alternating sides. Rolling. Yep, and you can lose sight of me. It's totally fine. You're off on your own. Just walking ankle tilts. Make sure you roll open, then back to center, right? So make sure you find your foot back to neutral after you roll it open. And make your way slowly but surely back towards me. Nice, yes. Rolling ankle open. Great. And now we're going to walk forward. Just walk forward. And just make sure, actually, before we do this next one, just look behind you. Make sure you can see behind you. There's a clear space. And you're going to take you're going to walk backwards. We're going to walk backwards. Yep. And then stop. Make sure you don't run into anything and walk forward. Good. And then walk backwards. Yep. Take your time. Don't go too fast. Yes. Good. Now, when I go forward this time, I'm going to push off my back big toe. Push off the back foot. Push and push. And then easy, just walk back a couple steps. Yes. And a couple more times. When you go forward, you're going to push off your back toe to go forward. That's going to propel you forward. Push, 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 push. You can take your time and then go back. One more time like that. Let's go a little slower. Let's step forward and then linger for a moment as we push off the back foot, step through, we push off the back foot, step through. There's a moment where we feel we're gonna, oops, you back? Okay, good. My internet's a little funky today. I don't have any idea why. So feet are a little bit wider, and we're gonna imagine we're in a barrel. So we don't wanna be too close to the chair. You know, it's there if you need it, but we're gonna imagine our spines stay long, that we're in a barrel, and we're gonna start to slide our hips to the right, then they slide forward, they slide to the left, they slide back. So essentially we're making a big circle with our pelvis, our hips, around this barrel, like we're scraping the barrel. You can soften your knees if you need to. So sometimes it's helpful because our legs might be tight to soften the knees a little bit. You can experiment. What does it feel like to have my legs straight and move my hips? Am I able to do that? Or can I have a little more movement with my knees slightly bent? And we're making these big circles. Again, imagining either you're in a hula hoop, or we could say like a big wine barrel, and you're great. Big circles the other way. Yeah, other way. So if you didn't hear me, we're going to go now the other way. So reverse your circle. We're doing about 10. Okay. Big. Feeling those hips. You might notice one direction easier than the other. If you've been sitting a lot, this is 1, 2. After you've been sitting, let's do a couple more big circles this direction. Great. Okay, and then come back neutral, center. We're going to work on a little hip hinges. I'm going to go to the side. So we're going to feel our body nice and long. The spine stays straight. Knees are going to soften a little bit. And I'm going to send my pelvis way back towards my chair. So my pelvis goes up and back. My spine stays long. And I'm going to press from my feet, and I'm going to stand all the way up. And my sits bones come right on top of my heels. Pelvis presses forward. I'm going to take my pelvis way back. Let it go way back to the back of the room. And then stand up, bring the pelvis right on top of your feet. Beautiful. Go over, pelvis goes way back. Maybe you feel hamstrings start to stretch. Beautiful. And then press from your feet. Feel the strength of the legs to bring the pelvis forward. A couple more, make it easy. It might be small if our hamstrings are tight. That's fine. You do what feels good in your body in this moment. Pelvis goes up and back, and then pelvis comes forward and on top of the feet. Nice. One more time. Lead with the pelvis goes up and back, and then comes all the way up. Good. Standing on both legs. You might want to hold on to the chair. We're going to bring the right leg to a tabletop position. Okay. Good. Now, can I flex my toes up here? Can I feel those toes pull up? And then can I point my toes down? Pull your toes up, point your toes down. Pull your toes up. We're standing tall on that left leg. Point your toes down. One more. Pull the toes up. Point the toes down. Relax your foot. My leg is going to go behind me, stays bent. It just pushes back. And then it comes up and folds in the hip. It just goes back, presses back, and then comes up. So when I press back, see if you can start to feel the back of the hamstring start to work. This back of the leg. Does it turn on a little bit when I push my leg behind me? I can hold on to my chair. Your standing leg's getting super tired, yeah? And a couple more. We're just working this hip motion here, an extension and into flexion. And then one more back and one more forward, and then I just step down. Whew. Okay, find that, stand on your right leg, bring your left leg up to tabletop. And we just really find that I'm right on top of my right leg, feel tall, I can breathe, and then I'm gonna flex my toes. I'm gonna try to pull my toes to my shin. And I'm gonna point my toes to the floor. Pull the toes up, point the toes down. Pull there's toes up, point the toes down. One more, pull the toes up, point the toes down, and then just easy foot, take the leg behind you. Now when I do that, let's be a little specific this time. I wanna make sure I keep my pelvis lifted in the front. Just my leg goes back. And then I bring my leg forward, fold in your hip. Take it back and bring it forward. Take it back. My side might be quite different. Take it back, bring it forward. One more, take it back, bring it forward, pause here, pause for a moment. Woo, yep, and then down you go. Good, to shake out the legs a little bit, shake out the knees, little baseball legs. Okay, one more exercise standing. Okay, let's go a little wider with the, I'm gonna come a little closer. So we're gonna do a little pelvic motion and a little mid-back. I'll face this way. So feet a little wider, soft knees. And then we're gonna move the pelvis under us. So I want you to think of your pelvis curling under. And the tendency to do that, so we often just grip everything. But I wanna think, can I curl my pelvis under and then let go of gripping? Can I kind of sense the spaciousness in the pelvis perhaps? And then I'm gonna let the tailbone go the other way. The pelvis tips up and the belly kind of spills down. And then we exhale, pull the front of the pelvis up, tailbone goes under, and then tip the tailbone up and back. Curl pelvis under. Beautiful. Take the pelvis back. Now, make this a range that feels good. So this could be really small. It could be a little bigger, but we want to make sure we don't crunch in that low back. We want to create space in the back. And so we think of moving really low in the pelvis and moving that the pelvis forward and back in such a way that creates space in our spine. Just one more, go back and then curl. And then go back, and this time when you curl under, let's keep the pelvis curled under. So I'm keeping that position of my pelvis. I'm gonna side bend over towards the right from my belly button. I come back to center, side bend the other way. Pull yourself up from your belly. Let your pelvis go a little bit, let it be neutral, and again, we side bend. Side bend from your belly. When you come up, feel your waistline, feel your belly pull you up. Yeah, side bend, take your time. We'll side bend from the belly button. When you come up, pull yourself up from the side body, from your waistline. One more time, we go over. Let's add something if you can. Now, we're gonna take that top arm, reach it overhead, stretch it overhead. Your bottom arm reaches down to the ground. So two arms are reaching in big oppositional stretch. And then we just come back up. Side bend first. Top arm reaches overhead. Bottom arm reaches down. Stretch in two opposite directions. Then come back up to center. And stretch the legs. Great. Okay, let's make our way down to the ground. I'm gonna move my chair to the side. If you need it to help you, just keep it nearby, okay, for getting up and down. We're gonna lay on our backs on the floor, okay? So one of the things, if you lay down and you find that your chin is sticking up to the sky, you're gonna want a little blanket under the base of the head, okay? So that's a little tip for that. Okay, so we're gonna lay on our backs onto the floor. Let everyone kind of get settled for a moment. I'm gonna take my sweatshirt off. And then the same movements we were just doing standing, we're actually gonna perform here as well. So my arms are by my sides. I'm gonna have the feet a little wider. Let your spine be nice and lengthened on the floor here. And then just feel for a moment your body arriving on the floor. So oftentimes it's in the transitional moments where we, kind of go askew. So we want to find our way down with awareness. And then when we're on the ground, arrive on the ground. So the way to do that is notice your feet. Are they on the ground? Notice the pelvis, how it's heavy on the ground. Notice what parts of your back are on the ground. Maybe my ribs are soft, the shoulders, the back of the arms, and then the base of the head is also on the ground. And this is where you might notice your chin might be jutted up to the sky. And if that's the case, we slide a little pillow or a little blanket under the head so the chin can be long, okay? So now that we're settled, we're gonna move the pelvis, just like we did when we were standing. So you're gonna draw the pelvis under you, and what does that do is it pushes the low back a little further into the floor, okay? We wanna feel that as a length. So we're lengthening the sits bones and tailbone towards our heels in order to get our back flush to the mat. And then you're gonna let the tailbone just drop the other way, which creates an arch in the back. So the back might come away from the floor. So we exhale, draw the pelvis under you. Feel the low back go flush. Inhale, tip the tailbone away. Feel how that low back comes away. And keep going. You're going to find your pace. Can you move from the sits bones? Those are the very base bones of the pelvis, so that the back can get lengthened here. So we lengthen the sits bones towards our heels. The back goes flush. We tip the pelvis the other way, and the back arches. Just do two more. Tailbone, sits bones curl under, back goes flush, and then tailbone, sits bones go towards the floor, the back arches. And then find a place in between those two positions. So I'm not in an arch and I'm not in a flat back. I'm right in the middle. And then from there, bring the arms up to the sky. And you're going to interlace your hands and place the hands behind your head. Now your elbows will lift up too. So the elbows are going to lift up to about 45 degrees. And imagine your hands were like a little hammock that the head could rest in, okay? And then you're going to take an inhale. And on the exhale, you're going to lift your head and shoulders away from the floor. And I want your eyes to look towards your belly button. And you're in a head float. You're in an ab curl. Now in this position, make sure that the head stays easy. So support your head with your hands and eyes on the belly. And then let's take a breath here. Take an inhale into your belly like we did when we were started. When you exhale, can you exhale, draw the belly back toward your spine on the exhale, and maybe you can come up a little higher. And then just let it go, roll back down. Repeat that a few times, okay? So you'll get it. We're doing some breath work with our abs. So take an inhale into your rib cage, into your belly. When you exhale, let the exhale bring you up. Exhaling out the mouth for now. Come up, lift head and shoulders away from the floor. Eyes on your belly. Take an inhale into the belly again. When you exhale, exhale out the mouth and scoop the belly toward your spine. And then roll back down. Take the head and shoulders back down onto the mat. We're going to do two more. Inhale. Exhale, up you go. Use your exhale. Eyes on the belly. Take an inhale. Exhale deep in the belly. And then float back down. Last one. Inhale. Exhale to come up. Inhale here. Exhale, scoop the belly. And then roll back down. Beautiful. Bring the arms out to the side so your arms come out to a T position. Let's have palms face down. Shoulders are heavy. Arms are long. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, you're going to let your legs fall to the right. So the legs are apart, and they just fall to the right, and you're in a little bit of a knee sway, a twist. So in this position, inhale. And then exhale, bring the legs back to center. You stand on top of the feet, and you come back to neutral. And then we'll go the other way. Take the legs to the left. pause here for a moment. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, bring the legs back to center. Feel the feet stand on top of your feet. Feel the pelvis neutral. Do a few more. Take the legs to the right. Your upper body is heavy. So shoulders stay grounded as the legs go to the right. And then bring the legs back to center. And then legs to the left. And you'll find your breath pattern. Just make sure you stay breathing. And then legs and pelvis come back to center. Let's do one more each side. So legs over to the right. And then legs back to center. Legs over to the left. And then legs back to center. Good, let's pause here in the middle. Bring your feet closer together. Okay, arms can come by your sides, down by your sides. Let's have thumbs face up to the sky. You're going to press the backs of the shoulders down into the floor. And we're going to try a bridge here. So your feet press down into the floor, and that's going to lift your pelvis up to the sky. And I like to think of lifting my pubic bone up to the sky. It helps me to go low in the legs because we want to lift from the legs, not from our backs, okay? So the arms get to press. The feet are very active here. They're pressing the floor away. Take a breath here. And then on the exhale, let's lengthen the pelvis towards the feet and lower down. One long line. Inhale at the bottom. Find your feet, find your arms. Exhale, push down into the floor to lift the pelvis up. Think of lifting your pubic bone up to the sky, and then you just check in. Did I lift from my legs or did I lift from my back? And we can have a little bit of a pelvis curling under us here. That can help us find the legs a little bit better. Take a breath, take an inhale. And on your exhale, lengthen your pelvis towards your feet and lower down. One long line. Beautiful. Let's do a few more. From the floor, press down to lift your pelvis up. Send your thigh bones way over the feet. Feel the strength of the legs. Take an inhale here. And exhale, lengthen to lower down. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, come right back up. Push down into the floor. Lift the pelvis up. Lifting the pubic bone up. Arms press, feet press, thigh bones reach forward. Take an inhale. Last time, exhale, lengthen to lower down. One long line all the way down. Good, and then hug the right leg into your chest. Hug the left leg into your chest and just rock your low back along the floor. So can you feel your low back against the mat as you rock side to side? Okay, we want to feel that we're massaging. Imagine you can massage here. Not imagining, we are. We're massaging the low back against the mat. Okay? Just one more rock side to side. And then come back to neutral. Lower the right leg down, lower the left leg down. We're going to roll to the side and we're going to press ourselves up. Take your time, and we're going to go to all fours, hands and knees, okay? So we're going to come to hands and knees here. Hopefully that's okay for, okay. So hands are under your shoulders. And we'll go knees are under our hips. Now, the one variation, so feet on your hands is hard. You can come down to forearms, and or you can fold your mat if wrists are sensitive, and you can have the mat folded in your palm of your hand on the edge of the mat. My mat's a little thick for that, but a yoga mat is perfect, okay? So those are a few variations. So from here, we're going to just have you tuck your toes under. So can I tuck my feet under, that flexion, that extension again? Okay, and then lengthen through the spine. So you want a long spine. And then eyes are slightly forward. And I'm going to rock a little bit back. And I'm going to rock forward. So I'm going to slide my body back in space. And I'm going to slide forward. I'm going to slide back. And I'm going to slide forward. And then if it feels, if it feels like you could gain a little speed, rock a little quicker or stay slow. Let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Find neutral. Find the place between the hands and the legs. Untuck your toes, round your spine, exhale. Pelvis is curled under you, back lifts up to the sky, push the floor away with your shins, push the floor away with your hands, drop the head. And then inhale, let your pelvis go up and back, roll through your spine, let your heart come forward between your arms. Inhale here, exhale round. Curl your pelvis under, push your shins down, press the ground away. Can you dangle your head? And then inhale, sits bones lift up and back. Let your pelvis lift up and back. Roll through your spine, lift your heart. Feel like your heart could reach forward. Just 2 more like this. Exhale, round, curl, hollow out the middle, drop your head. Push the ground away with your arms and your legs. And then inhale, the pelvis lifts up and back. Roll through the heart, reaches forward. Last time, we exhale, round, push the ground away. Inhale, we unroll the spine, sits bones lift, heart reaches forward, mobilizing and creating flexibility for our spine. And then come neutral. We're gonna add a little hover here. Now hovers are optional. If you need to want to rest in a little child's pose, that's fine. Hovers are like a kind of a modified plank, okay? So hands are pushing. I'm actually gonna go onto the harder floor. My hands are going to push down into the ground, and I'm going to hover my knees. Ah, that was slippery. I'm going to come close. I'm going to hover my knees right off the floor. So my knees are just lifted off, and a little hover, okay? Now, let's hold it. Hold it. Breathing, sits bones are wide, eyes are slightly forward. And then just lower down. Untuck your toes, walk your hands forward, sit back into a little child's pose. Rest your forehead on the mat. Just take a little moment. I'm going to do it again in a second. And then just roll yourself back up to hands and knees. Hands are under the shoulders, tuck your toes, and give me another hover. Lift your knees off the ground about 1 inch. Find your breath, spines are long. Feel the strength in the body to be able to do this. Beautiful. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, rest in child's pose. We'll do 1 more after this. If you have it in you, if you just want to rest, totally okay with me. And one of the things to think about this next round is notice if you're in your arms a lot. I'd love for you to shift back towards your legs a little bit. Okay, so come back up, roll yourselves back up. Make sure those knees are under you. Hands are strong, pushing the floor away, shoulders are wide and down on the back. And Carrie, bring your knees under you a little more. Yeah, there you go. Tuck those toes under, and then hover those knees right off the ground. Whoop, they just float off. Good, arms are straight. If we can get them straight, that would be the best. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, slowly down, sit back, child's pose. Crawl those hands forward really far in front of you. As far as, again, no discomfort or pain, but just crawl them forward for the stretch. See if you can get those fingertips to crawl away from you so you feel a stretch in the shoulders, underneath the armpits, and that mid-back area. Let's take a breath or 2 here. And then let's slowly roll ourselves up. Inhale. You can come to either a high kneeling or sitting on your feet is whatever is comfortable. Okay. Reach up. Grab onto your hands and just reach to the sky if you can, or just one arm reaches up is fine. Just take a big stretch. Feel as if you could lift your ribs away from your pelvis. Let's take an inhale again. And then we'll exhale, let the arms fall, let the breath fall out. Similar to how we did when we started. One more time. Inhale, reach up, stretch up. Can I lift my ribs away from my pelvis? And then exhale, let it go. Arms fall, breath falls. All right. Thank you. We're going to come back for meditation at 1. And those of you who'd like to join.
I'll be back. Thanks, Lila.
Thank you. Thanks, Todd.